What's going on, guys? It's your favorite mortgage lender, Adelco Me, Got Mortgages, and we've got the man in action, the man on the field already, right out there in the field, cranking
We're
away.
already out here.
Uh, Tom Jara. Tom is the owner of Wonderman Handyman and Wonderwashers. We've got to get to know each other a lot more. I would say over the last, I think it's been over a year and change, which is crazy. Time flies. But Tom, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So I'm Tom Jara. I own Wonderwashers and Wonderman Handyman. We do, all your handyman stuff, whether it's like your honey-do list, putting play sets together for the kids, painting drywall. We also do for Wonderwashers, all of our exterior cleaning. So it's houses, commercial buildings, roofs, gutter cleaning, window cleaning, roof cleaning. I can get into that, and I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit more.
Yeah, I think now. So when did you started both at different times, right?
Yeah.
What came first,
So what came first was Wonderman Handyman.
and how long have you been doing that?
3 years in now.
Nice. And what kind of prompted you to get into that? Were you always in that type of field, or did you develop a knack for it?
I wasn't always like in the handyman field. I was always handy. I was always hands on from like being a kid, playing with Legos, Connects, all that fun stuff. I was in cabinetry for vocational school, so I was always kind of in a construction trade. But out of high school, I was actually a mechanic, and then I went to school to be a mechanic. Was a mechanic for about 10 years, I want to say, mostly Jeep, Dodge, Ram. Then I kind of got out of that, did a little bit of wildlife control because I was trying to find myself like a new industry, because the auto industry was just kind of like not the best for me. I kind of just fell into like doing it on my own. I'm like, man, if these bigger franchises and stuff like that, 'cause they can like treat their customers not the best and still make some decent money doing it, actually kind of robbing people. you know I was like, I could definitely do this way better than them, and maybe provide a little bit more of a better customer service.
I love that. Yeah, that was actually one of my one of the first questions I wanted to ask every time we have a business owner who comes on is what kind of inspired you to start your business? And you kind of said it, and it always comes
Yeah.
down to right customer service. And it's not always just about price, but it's truly just about real service, right? Because
Correct.
your customer service dictates your price, right? And we're like
Yes.
the same way in our world too, right? With mortgages, where interest rates are interest rates, but it's the real customer service that ends up having a consumer retain you or not. So I love that you shared that. Now, so we know the good part of business, right? But it's not always good, right? There's every business has its good and down. What do you feel like has been one of the biggest challenges that you faced in the early stages of starting your business?
So the early stages was kind of just getting a knack for like what needs to be done, as far as like all your legal stuff, like paperwork, like your
Hmm.
licensing, your insurance, this and that. And then also it was kind of hard in the very beginning networking, because I was a mechanic, so I was never talking to customers. I was always a friendly, outgoing guy with my friend circle, but when it came down to like going out in public, I kind of just kept to myself. Now my wife will tell you, I could talk to anybody and everybody anywhere about anything. And yeah, that's kind of just the basis of that.
Yeah, and I love you're kind of like me. You're always repping Wonder Washers or Wonder Man Handyman wherever you
Yeah.
go, which is awesome. I will give kudos to you too, where I'm constantly seeing a lot of your, whether it's business cards or flyers or print marketing that you get everywhere, right? I think I was
Yeah.
at Turning Point in, I think that's Brick Tom's River. You know that shopping center next to Spire Coffee House,
Oh yeah.
or
Yep.
next to whatever coffee, Sweetwater's Coffee House. And I'm like, oh shit, that's my boy. I love it. Cool. So, with that said, what do you find are some of your key strategies and habits? Starting a business usually during the first year is obviously when it's the most difficult parts, right?
Hmm.
So doing this for about 3 years, and your business goes through what I would assume seasons, right? I'm going to imagine,
Yeah.
right? Nobody's
Yeah.
probably washing their deck or their house in the winter, right? You're probably ramping up now, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Actually, we have stuff coming on this week as we speak. So.
Yep.
Yeah, we're getting into it.
And I could speak to you guys' level of service because you guys have done my own personal home down here down the shore. And you guys were awesome, and to the point where you guys even came back, right, to make sure everything
Yes.
was done correctly, which I find that to earn, long term success, right? So, what would you say are kind of your habits or or strategies that have helped you kind of maintain that long term success?
Um, so a big thing for me that is just keep my head in the game. Like there's many days that I find myself slacking or procrastinating something, but you really notice the change in the reward when you're focused on the goal that you need to do, whether it's, I need to book all of April, May, June for washing, or I gotta, write a couple estimates for handyman or whatever it is. It's as long as the consistency is there, you're gonna see a good reward at the end.
Yeah. Now, I know you've started to also hire people too, right? Which
Yep.
I know from my line of work and really any business owner's line of work, that's a challenge in itself,
Yeah.
right? Where you're constantly trying to stay motivated yourself, but then at the same time deal with payroll and deal with all that, like we were talking about, legal stuff behind it. How have you noticed your business kind of change as you started growing and bringing on more support staff?
It's getting harder because not only am I bringing on guys that are good, I always look when I look for a guy, I always look to make sure that they're not necessarily experienced maybe in what we're doing, but have the drive to work hard and know also that with hard work will come a good reward. You're not going to get handed anything. But when I'm also hiring guys, it's hard because when I hire those guys, we tend to make a friendship, we become a huge family. It's not just the business. I have my guys over, the new house now, like we'll figure something out for the kids. I'll take them like fun places sometimes, like for events. Like, yeah, we're repping our business, but we're also like doing it as a friend circle.
Yeah.
um but yeah.
Yeah, listen, that speaks tokens to you as an individual first before being a business owner, right? And you mentioned events and you mentioned stuff like that, and we met at a networking event, and
Yes.
I think we're constantly always looking for other networking events too, right? To attend
Oh
with,
yeah.
whether it's chambers of commerce's or some of the other stuff that we have. You're one of the professionals that comes by us, right? Every 2 weeks for our meeting of the minds roundtable.
Right.
um, Talk to me about networking. What made you kind of first want to start getting into networking and kind of figuring out it was a good thing for your business?
So when I was first planning my business startup, I uh I was just kind of like I would watch YouTube videos, or I would get like the feed, like the algorithm from Instagram or TikTok or whatever. And a lot of people talked about, making relationships and networking is what actually gets you the business. Don't go into a networking event or a meeting looking for someone's, business as like a dollar sign. You go in there just trying to make a friend. Everything comes afterwards. So I just kind of was like, you know what, I got to do this. I know it's going to be tough for me because I was not. It's always awkward, when you first meet somebody, you're there. Everybody knows that you're there networking.
Yep.
It's awkward for everybody. So it just took to get past that. And that's just a huge part. I try to make sure I go to everything I can as long as I'm available, you know and we get it done that way.
Yeah, I think it's huge. I'm sure you've gotten not just building relationships, but business too, right? From those
Yes.
professionals, because all of us here at some point either own a home or have aspirations to own a home. And whenever we're thinking of someone in your line of work, right? If I constantly see you top of mind, face to face, or
Right.
online, which I'm going to talk about right now because you brought it up, that's important. So so talking about online, right? So we know you're out there in person networking, print marketing. Your social media also seems to be something that you also put a little bit of passion into too, right?
Yeah.
And you're much better than me at finding the trending audio and the cool stuff with CapCut, because I frankly just personally, um I don't want to say I don't have the time because I hate saying that, but I think I haven't mastered that part of it. and you really
Right.
have. So talk to me about that day to day. Are you waking up and seeing, hey, this is a trending audio and this is a trending what do you want to call it? I guess clip or edit, right? Because that's how
Right.
CapCut or whatever other platform you use works. Talk to me about that. What's kind of your emphasis with social media into your day to day?
So when I do my social media, I do kind of think like I see the trending things that pop up around us, and on TikTok and stuff. I try to be funny. I try to be personable. And it's fun to make it for me also. Like I'm not like a media designer or anything, but it really, like I'll even like go over to my wife like, "Hey, check out this video I'm gonna post," and she'll be like, "Oh, that's like really good," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool. It gets you hyped
Hmm.
up, man." And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty on board when it comes to a trend. You got your normal stuff like holidays and whatever. You just try to be a little creative, try to stand out from the competition.
I love that you take videos and pictures and before and afters, right? My before and
Right.
after is like your poster, right? There should be your poster because I need
Closed.
I needed to wash bad, especially in the backyard.
Hmm.
So, but I love that, and you mentioned that you enjoy sharing it with your wife, and I think that's such an important part in our businesses, right? Where we get our spouses involved, or I've seen times where you've had your kids even involved,
Yep.
um, but you're also a big community guy too, right? You did, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, the Ride with Donovan event, which was
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
last.
was last year. Crazy, time flies. And so talk to me about that. Kind of like, one, what's your motivation, and two, how do you find those success stories really that help you kind of traject into your business?
So the Donovan ride that actually was presented to me by Tom Arabella.
Yeah,
He knew somebody that was in the brick schools, and Donovan was going through his tough time with his men, or not his health.
yeah,
And So we got to put that together. He liked like 4x4 trucks, monster trucks, and stuff like that. So I reached out to all my Pine Barren community friends that had Jeeps and all that stuff, and we ended up getting the 5-ton military trucks. A couple Jeeps out there. We had like a monster truck guy too. That was
yeah,
built, a mud truck. So he had a good time with that. We also did, I think that same year, it was a couple months prior, like the toy drive stuff with Tom. It
yeah,
ended up only being like supposed to be like me and a couple normal friends I would go in the woods with. And next thing you know, there was like 100 Jeeps there, like 100 and 200 people bringing toys and food to donate to Tom's charity, and we got that done too. It's just I enjoy doing those events because I like meeting all the people of the community. I never really was into stuff like that, but it's just a good feeling. Like, it doesn't really cost much to do something nice, and it makes you feel good about yourself, and it gives you a good boost in, like, confidence, and
sure.
that you help somebody else, and you could see that they're happy, and especially like little kids like that, you know.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, I was even so happy and stoked seeing some of those trucks, or even seeing my son. He was having a blast. He'll have a
Oh
blast.
yeah.
You give my son a piece of cardboard and he'll have a blast. He'll find a way to keep himself happy. But that's awesome, man. So now, if you're someone who is looking to start a business, what do you think from your success is a piece of advice you would give to somebody who's looking to eventually start their business?
My biggest piece of advice would just to be, don't think about the what if it fails, just do it. Because if you have the what if it fails, or like I'll try it, you're gonna fail. Like there's times where I've hit hard spots in my business because I'm like, man, this sucks. Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen if it fails? And then it's like, don't think like that, because then it's something's gonna happen and it could fail. And I love what I do. So I want to keep that pushing. So I would tell people, like, stop procrastinating on yourself. Just do it. Just do it. And nobody
I
else
love
is
that.
gonna hand you something. You know what I mean? You got to just take care of it on your own.
I firmly agree. I tell myself all the time, I wish I got into mortgages earlier, right?
Yeah.
From my past days. So definitely agree. And obviously, coming from someone like yourself, obviously became successful, right? From your prior career of being in the automotive industry or of some sort or
Right.
service industry. And then, but now, from what I know, a few months ago, you are officially a homeowner too,
Yes.
which is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
what do you think bringing it into real estate? What do you think was, the most fearful thing from a homeowner to want to get into the process, right? Because I'm sure you guys were renting before.
Yeah.
What kind of pushed you to be like, all right, you know what? I think it's time for me to buy a house.
Well, I always wanted to have a house. From the second apartment we had, we were in our second apartment for 6 years prior in Lacey Township. It was a 2 bedroom, 1 bath, beautiful apartment. They were brand new. We got them on, low income housing. We had all that help and stuff. And my family just kind of outgrew it. When we moved in, it was me, my oldest, and my wife. Then it became my son, and then we got surprised with my second daughter. So now we had 3 kids. We're living in the same house, and I just kind of felt like life had me in this rut and I couldn't get out of it. I was like, dude, my biggest goal is getting a house, having a backyard, front yard for the kids, and I just and that's what made me want to start the business because I was like, there's no way I'm doing it on, critter control money or like
Yeah,
even
for
this
sure.
mechanic money with the 3 kids at that point. So I just shot for it and now look at me. Now here I am.
Oh, I love it, dude. It's such a great feeling, right? When you walk into your home
Yeah.
and you don't have to worry about people complaining that your kids are running around and all that fun stuff. And you'll I'm sure knowing you're going to have a lot of fun stuff going on for the kids in the summer and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Um, any cool trips that you have coming up planned or anything like that? Because I know you guys do a lot of the Jeep. You mentioned it, right? Pine Brook Trail and all that stuff. Any cool
Right.
stuff you got coming up?
So, I mean, coming up, me and my son, we have an event that we were a part of last year. It's Crawling for a Cure, which is for, I believe it was blood cancer awareness. Um, we participated in that last year as a sponsor. This year we're sponsoring that, and we're going to be a trail guide, so you guys will get to follow us behind. We'll take you up the mountain, go rock crawling and stuff.
Cool.
Um, for my family, I need to sit down with my wife and we gotta plan something. We spoke about Disney. Disney would
House.
just be cool to do. Yeah, Disney would be cool to do at least once for the kids. My wife and kids have never went, but they want something tropical, so we're figuring out something tropical.
Yeah, listen, DR and Mexico and any of those, Jamaica, Bahamas, Aruba, and they're really inexpensive too. That from what I've seen, because we've done a fair amount of stuff there, and you do an all inclusive, and it's like $800 or $1,000 a person, and for
Yeah.
5 6 days, and it's definitely a blast. Um, Now, I'm sure you have your busy season coming up, right, with the spring.
Hmm.
um, any cool things you have coming up with that, to share with everybody, that would be insightful?
So we are doing right now a 15% off deal for our spring cleaning. So that's gonna be up until March 31st. You can pre-book with us. It can be window cleaning, washing the house, roof cleaning, whatever it is. It's all of our exterior cleaning services. You don't have to, book it for that next day. You could book it, June, July, if you have a party planned. A lot of people do Memorial Day. We're already pretty much getting booked up on at least on one truck in May. So that would be something to take advantage of. But yeah, we're getting ready this week to do a couple jobs now. I literally was just at the store getting some of our soaps, some new equipment and stuff to get ready for the season.
I love it. Now, what do you think as, like yesterday was nice. So I was out
Oh
there
yeah.
in the backyard cleaning, my backyard and the mess that my goddamn dogs leave. Um, every time our buddy Dan the bug man comes by and he texts me, he's like, "Can I come?" I'm like, shit. Now I gotta actually literally go out there and literally pick up shit. Because I don't want him stepping in landmines. Um,
Yeah.
what do you think is important for people to be educated on the importance of cleaning, right, and maintaining their property? What would you say maybe like the top 3 or 4 things that people should be maintaining with their homes?
So definitely maintain your siding, your roof, and your gutters. Those are like the biggest things. Yeah, concrete and stuff too. Um, one, one, it doesn't look good. It looks like crap, and it looks like you just don't know what soap is, I guess. um,
It's true.
two, like it actually it will eat things away. Like for instance, your roof, the glioxapsomagma. It's the black streaking you'd see on roofs. I remember doing it for you too as well. You got to clean that off because it can cause trouble with insurance companies. Even the mold on the siding. I had a customer say his insurance company was threatening to drop him because he wasn't cleaning the siding of his house. If you're not cleaning the roof, they could say it's a wear and tear item that can be prevented with cleaning. So that's something that you would want to do too. And that's not just something you can go up there with a pressure washer, knock, moss off the roof with that, because now you're destroying the granules on the roof. The insurance isn't going to cover it because they were cleaned the wrong way and now there's damage, and there's a lot that can go into it. But and
I
then
love that.
you got your gutters too. The gutters, you want to make sure they're clear, because if they're not clear, the water can come over the gutters, go behind the fascia, and now you got water leaks inside your house. So
Yeah,
that's what I would say is like your biggest three things that you want to do, Um, but yeah, that's what I'd say.
I love it. Now, I remember something you mentioned, and I think just the other day, it might have been in my office, or even at a networking event because we see each other so much. I
Yeah.
don't even remember when the conversation was, but you were talking about cleaning solar, right?
Mhm.
Talk to me a
Yeah.
little bit about that because I always find that to be funny. And we have our good buddy Albie,
Yeah.
right, who is the solar advocate for all of us. Talk to me about solar and if you're a homeowner, the importance of maintaining that also.
So solar, a lot of people, don't think that you have to clean solar panels, but there's been times where, mold will grow on the solar panel. So, you can get moss growing on there. You can get a nice layer of dirt or film or whatever on top of the panels. You want those panels to collect the sunlight at 100% efficiency, on whatever it is, your app or however you track it. So, if you got stuff, a layer of dirt that the sun's got to go through, 9 times out of 10, you're not getting your 100% efficiency. That's also something you can't just like take our, chemicals and spray up there and kill like that. You have to use like the water fed pull that we would use for window cleaning. It's pure water. All the minerals are taken out of it, so nothing sticks to the panel. You give it a good scrub, depending on how bad it is, and you get everything down. Now you're back at 100% efficiency. So if you got solar panels, you definitely want to look into doing that.
Cleaning up. Yeah, I love it. Cool, good stuff, man. If people want to find you, what's the best way?
So you can go to our website. It's wonderwashersnj.com. You got all our socials on there: Facebook, Instagram, our number or email. You can contact us any of those ways, and we would be happy to come out and do an estimate.
Awesome. Tom, appreciate your time, my friend. Thanks for jumping on, and
Thanks for
we'll
having
definitely
me.
catch you next time.
See you later.
Thanks, bud.